JoJo. Is it okay if I call you that?
Yeah.
Alright, there's just a few things that I need to go through just to get to know a little bit more about you. Alright, is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay, so what is it exactly that you are here for or were sent here for?
Well, I've been having a lot of anxiety with school,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just been really hard to manage. Like some days I just can't get out of bed. I'm not really socializing much with people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just taking up a lot of my time and energy.
I see. Just real quick, what grade are you in? I mean, how old are you?
I'm 25, and I'm a junior in college at La Sierra.
Oh, so you're getting ready to, you're nearing graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can be really stressful, so I understand that. Have you, has it affected, how you sleep or?
A lot. I think because I have so much anxiety about almost being a senior that it makes it impossible to sleep because I'm constantly thinking about everything that I have to do,
Mm-hmm.
my future, that kind of stuff.
I see. Have you been on any medication for it or?
No. I was, like, later down the road, if that's something we should consider, then okay. But for right now, I think I'd just like to try to work it out on my own.
How have you been doing that so far? Like, what are your coping mechanisms?
So far it's all right. I try to listen to really calm music before I sleep. Sometimes it
Mm-hmm.
helps, sometimes it doesn't. I try to do yoga at some point in the day to meditate. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Now I just want you to know that whatever you say here, I legally cannot say anything. Um, but if you do say anything about, abuse of a child or an elder adult, like or a dependent adult, or if you have thoughts of suicide and or homicide, I do have to let somebody know so we can get you the appropriate help. All right.
Okay.
But other than that, what you say stays here. It's just between us. So, um, now you said you just listen to music, so you don't, do anything recreational or anything.
No.
Okay, because kids these days. That's good. You gotta stay away from drugs. Okay. Do you drink coffee or caffeine or anything like that to kind of help calm your nerves?
Not so much to help calm my nerves, but I notice if I don't sleep a lot at night, I do. Sometimes I'll drink a couple monsters in the morning, or coffee, or whatever.
Just to be able to get through the day.
Yeah.
How often do you usually do that?
Every day. It depends on how much I take. Depends on like how much of sleep and stuff I've got. But usually, I'll have a cup of coffee when I wake up, and then on my way to school, I'll pick up a Monster or two or a Rebel or two, depending on the day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes gas stations have good sales on them too, so I would get a couple then. But yeah, and then if I'm super slow that day, then I'll definitely drink another cup of coffee or another Red Bull or something like towards the afternoon to get through my night class.
Okay. That is understandable, but it's also a little concerning because it has a tremendous effect on your health, especially on your kidneys. So maybe you might want to maybe not drink so much of it all at once. So maybe spread it out. But I drink coffee in the morning to help me get going. So trust me, I know sometimes you just need to have that extra jump start. So with all this anxiety, have you had any thoughts that concern you or kind of scare you?
Not so much. I mean, I just get into these, I call them thought spirals, where like I start thinking about one thing that leads to thinking about another, that leads to thinking about another, and it's just like kind of spirals.
Yeah, so, but you haven't had any thoughts of like, you just want to end it all or anything like that?
No.
Okay, that's good. Your mental health is really good then. Well, other than the anxiety, but and you said you're socially you're struggling. So tell me a little bit about that.
If the anxiety's bad enough, it just like I'd rather be alone and I'd rather not talk to people. Even some of my friends get a little concerned because they haven't seen me in like weeks and stuff, but I just don't have the energy in me to socialize with people.
Does it prohibit you from doing things you like? Do you, because it is a sign of depression, and I want to make sure that you work through it, because you know it is healthy to have alone time, but at the same time, kind of having that support system, having someone there to talk to, and just kind of like go out. It doesn't have to be all day, for a few hours. Just kind of like leave your room is very beneficial. So at least you have friends that are concerned about you.
Yeah.
Have you? I know you're 25, but have you told maybe your parents about this? Like, do they know about it, or
No,
a relative?
No, my parents aren't really involved in my life.
Okay. Does that affect anything, socially or anything like that, or?
No, not really. I'm kind of over it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but as long as it's not affecting you negatively.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything that, how do I put it, that kind of like gives you hope, like motivation to like get out of bed in the morning?
School, because even like with all this anxiety and stuff, sometimes I think about missing school, but it's really important to me, so I go to all my classes. And
does it kind of make you feel like whole, like like it gives you a purpose?
Yeah, I like it because school is stressful, but it's never like a stress that is super negative. I mean, sometimes it can be just when I have a lot of projects and exams and stuff, but for the most part, it's a pretty positive force.
Okay, well that's good. You get to see your friends and stuff like that. So have there been any times where maybe like you've thought things in general that aren't very rational?
Sometimes I know that my anxieties will like feed me thoughts that are like, there's no way that's gonna happen, chill. And it's just me like thinking through every possible scenario, but usually I don't usually act on them. I can usually tell the difference between when I'm like being anxious, when it's the anxiety, and when it's like a possible thing that could actually happen.
Yeah, like like the whole like fortune telling kind of thing, where it's like, well, this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Yeah.
Mental health. So, I have a few questions on this form. Do you have any medical conditions that we should know about that maybe could contribute to having a lot of anxiety or anything like that?
No. I'm generally pretty healthy.
Okay. Because I know, like, with ADHD, that can cause a lot of anxiety, especially if it's not under control. So, other than that, like your physical health, your biological health, you're all gold star healthy.
Yep.
That's good. So let's see. I think we can cut some of this out.
Oh my gosh.
Am I doing good so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say the only thing is probably like, don't give so much advice, because it's just an assessment to kind of see where they are. And then in the planning phase, you by yourself as a social worker would go through and think of a plan and think of like, oh, this is what we need to work on, this is okay, kind of thing.
Okay. So should we restart it?
If you want to.
Do you think we should?
No. I would probably, then what you can do is, like for this section when they ask, oh, what can you have done better or whatever, like you could choose one of the clips where you're like advice giving and just say, oh, I recognize now that this is just an assessment and it's not. But we can redo it if you want to. But I don't think it's necessary. I think that way she can see.
We're like 8 minutes in technically. Okay.
Do you want me to set a timer?
No, there's a timer on there.
Okay.
Okay, so back into character. This assessment has been very helpful. Now to kind of get into the nitty gritty, what are your main concerns? What is it that you feel like we should, that you think we should work on first? So I get an idea.
I think maybe, I'm not really sure, because I know that, like, I know my thoughts can get irrational, but if there's a way to, like, prevent them getting so far to where I'm not in these, like, anxious spirals that I talk about, that'd probably be cool. Like, maybe working on that first.
Okay. When you have those, how do you get out of them?
Usually I can get myself out of them. It just takes a while. Usually I have to get to the most catastrophic thought, like, oh, this is life or death. Like, this is certainly going to happen. It's going to ruin my future, kind of thing. But once I finally get to that point where I'm like, okay, enough.
Do you ever do journaling or anything like that? Have you thought about maybe doing it?
No.
Okay. How long do these spirals usually last?
It depends on how much is going on, really. Sometimes I can be in a thought spiral for like half an hour, sometimes an hour. Sometimes they last all day occasionally.
But do they usually only last at least up to a day?
Yeah.
So you haven't had them for more than, say, like 2 days?
No.
Okay, that's good. So you want to work on that, and then what else do you feel like needs to have a lot of focus on?
Maybe thinking a way of like telling my friends what's going on, so that way
communication.
That way I can tell them, oh hey, like I'm okay, but this is what's going on, kind of thing.
Okay, and then maybe seeking more help with that.
Yeah.
'Cause it's hard to go through, especially if you feel like you're alone. Do you ever feel like you're alone when this happens?
Yeah, sometimes.
It's very common. I go through that sometimes where I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm alone. No one's here to help me, and then everyone's like, we're right here. So, but you have to let them know when you're ready. You know?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, hey guys, this is what's happening. Like the minute it happens, because you never know. Like you said, sometimes it lasts for 30 minutes or up to a day. So definitely, probably on the ones where they last longer than an hour, is when I would personally be like, hey guys, so maybe help me out a little bit. But that's all up to you. It's just whenever you're ready. Did you want to work on how to better handle like anxiety when it comes to school, like your work and stuff like that? Do you wait, on average, how long does it take you to start the assignments after they've been handed to you?
I start as quickly as I can.
Okay, so you don't procrastinate.
No, I can't.
Okay. That'd be more anxiety right there.
Exactly.
So is it the assignments that make you anxious, or is it like all the classes all together, or?
I think it's kind of everything. Like even when I'm doing well in a class, it's still like, oh, what if while I'm working on an assignment, oh, what if I bomb this assignment? Like this is gonna ruin my whole future. If I get an F in this class, I can't move on to the next class, and then I'll be put behind. And then if I'm put behind, my graduation is gonna get put behind if I don't graduate on time.
what it sounds like is um, you scare yourself into thinking that if I don't do good on this one assignment that could be worth 5 points, then that your whole grade is going to be ruined.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a question. Growing up, were you ever like was it ever extremely stressed upon that you had to get good grades?
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe that's what is causing some of this anxiety? Is the fear of, if I don't do well, I'm gonna let everyone down, including myself?
I think so.
Um, what I feel like we should work on, definitely yes, is the thoughts. Communication, that's really all up to you. For you to feel like when you're ready to tell someone. But definitely, I feel like we should really work on that. The funk you get in if you feel like you're gonna let everyone down over one little assignment, or a big assignment. It's okay to not do well, and it's hard, and life is hard, but definitely that's something we really need to work on, because you seem like a very bright, just fun person all around, and I'd hate to see that have all this just keep piling up, and you're not getting the help. So definitely I'm gonna definitely try to help you out through this. If you don't mind me asking, what would happen like when you were younger if you didn't do well on an assignment or something? Was there like a punishment, or did you just kind of walk me through that if you feel comfortable?
If I didn't get A's on everything, my privileges would be taken away, so I wouldn't be able to watch TV. Wouldn't be able to go outside and hang out with my friends. Anything lower than a B, I'd usually I'd get grounded, and I'd get spanked for C's or below.
And that's a lot of stress to put on a child.
Yeah.
Because school's not easy. I've definitely had my areas where I'm just, for example, I'm bad at math. So I'm just well, I aim for at least a B.
Yeah.
I definitely try not to aim lower than a C, but things happen, and sometimes for me, I didn't understand the information as fast as others. And when you're dealing with someone who is not inside your head, it's hard to get them to understand what it is you're feeling or going through, and that can just be very difficult and very frustrating, and kind of make you shut down and not tell people how you're feeling, because you don't know how they're gonna take it.
Exactly.
So let's see. So we're gonna work on those three things: the getting over the feeling that you have to be be perfect at everything, because if that's what we all had to do, then oh man, I failed. And then getting you out of those thought spirals. It's natural to go through that, but when you have anxiety and stuff like that, it can definitely be detrimental to your mental health. And then working on that communication. So what we should do is, if you're okay with it, I personally think maybe going to a psychiatrist, to see if they feel like you need to be on an anxiety medicine to help you manage that anxiety. And then definitely having weekly meetings with me, and see if that helps. But we don't have to do the psychiatrist thing right away. So we'll do maybe about 2 months worth of meeting, and then if I feel that you need medicine to help manage your anxiety, then I'll write you a recommendation. and then through that we'll work on your thoughts, and I would like you to kind of like write down what it is you're thinking at that time, so I can see it and have a better understanding of, okay, so this is what happened, and then this is what you started to think. And then, yeah, on the communication, I can help you if you want to work on the communicating skills, stuff like that. But that's kind of like we can do that more near the termination of our meetings. So, oh, I thought it stopped recording. I was like, oh no. Do you think she'll look at the time?
I have no idea.
Okay, my foot just fell asleep.
She'll probably look at it at the end.
Okay.
Like whenever we upload it, it'll probably tell her. Oh, this video is 20 minutes long. This video is not 20 minutes long.
Okay. And then just real quick, so I can kind of get like a time frame. Did your anxiety and all these feelings and thoughts, did they start when you got to college, or around what time or age did they start happening?
Probably before I even really knew what anxiety was, because I remember like as a kid being afraid all the time for like no reason. So probably before I even knew what anxiety really was, but it's definitely increased throughout college.
Yeah, and college is very stressful. So yeah, we just have to go 2 more minutes.
10 more minutes.
2 more minutes.
Oh, 2. You have to make sure, because we have to cut some of this out too.
Yeah, there was like at least 2 minutes of us giving feedback.
Mm.
And then this. My foot fell so asleep.
Wake
up. So I feel like a healthy amount of time for us to work on this is probably, let's plan on doing this for at least 6 months, and then if you feel like you've improved a lot and have been managing your anxiety a lot better, maybe go every other week or every 2 weeks, or when needed, before we terminate. And then other than that, I look forward to working with you and helping you with anxiety and managing stress, because college is very stressful, especially, I take it you're probably in your finals. That was always a stressful time for me, projects and everything. So yeah, if you just go out to the front and make an appointment for next week, she'll see what she can do for you.
Okay.
It was nice seeing you.
It was nice seeing you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. Cut.